what you've actually been up to lately, because you've kind of been everywhere.
I've been everywhere. I think I just got a little bit like lost with my direction. Yeah, it was a very hectic time, and we managed to sort of like crawl our way through it. And we're sitting at the airport and we went to check in. And you know, you can't fly into America without an outbound flight. Our outbound flight was paid for by the festival in the Philippines, and we get there and they turn to us and they're like,
Kia ora, welcome, I'm Zoey. I'm so excited to have you join me on this podcast that celebrates and supports women from all walks of life. Whether we're chatting with inspiring wahine, sharing real stories, or diving into the things that truly matter to us, we've got it all covered. It's time to shine a light on the incredible women doing amazing things right here in Aotearoa and beyond. So hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and come join the kōrero. We can't wait to have you join us. Kia ora!
Kia ora.
Welcome back,
Thank
PRINS!
you. Thanks for having me for part 2.
Part 2.
Feels good to be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So welcome back to our audience. Super excited to have PRINS back. Part 1 was epic. I think that's my most played episode
really?
to date. So that's like super cool.
Yeah, we love that. Okay.
I think that story about the school, that definitely went down a hit as well. Where like
There's a few good stories in there, that's for sure.
Well, and I think it just made you relatable as well. You know, like especially for me personally. Like I think when you said that story, I was like, oh my God. Like I just like felt like I could connect with you on a different level.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've accomplished so much in your life and like, you know, got so many cool like credentials and that sort of thing. But then it's like also she's a person and she's had to go
100%.
through some stuff as well.
God.
And I think also like the kind of me seeing you and almost like the shame associated with a story where like in my eyes I'm like, oh girl, like I get it, don't have shame, like I don't, like you told that story and I didn't even blink. I would just kind of liked you more because I was like cool. So I don't know, maybe by you sharing that story it almost allowed me to give my younger self a bit of a I don't know, acceptance?
Yeah.
You know, like a little bit of like a release.
It's like knowing that it's not just you that's gone through something like that. And I think it's so important to have like platforms like this because it is important to talk about the, like, not sugarcoating things, you know? Like to talk about what really happens in life because life is so messy and it is just very chaotic all the time.
Yeah.
And like shit happens.
And do you almost think that like sometimes if you can remove yourself from a situation and almost see it through someone else's eyes, it's just perspective, right?
Yeah,
like,
everything is perspective,
yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
Well, yeah, pumped that you're here.
I know.
Can we just talk a little bit about, you've obviously been in Christchurch for like a few days, week?
Yes,
for a wedding?
It'll be a week. Yes, I can't. Yes,
So,
I flew here because one of my best friends got married last Saturday. So, yeah, shout out to Hannah and Hayden.
Oh, H&H?
H&H. They have the same initials, middle name as well.
Wow.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And obviously now last name. Yeah.
So her
hilarious.
Obviously her first name didn't change, middle name didn't change, but like all
the
of her
name,
initial
so they're like HMP, both of them are HMP, which is hilarious.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are they a bit woo woo?
What do you mean?
Like, are they like that's fate? You know, like it.
Oh, I don't know. They've been together for a long time. To be fair,
yeah.
They've been together for I think like nearly 10 years.
Right.
So,
maybe both.
Kind of funny though.
And then being back in Christchurch is good.
It's been so nice.
Yeah,
it's been so nice. Usually when I'm here, I have so many things going on and I can maybe see, you know, like 1 or 2 friends, like if that, because it's such a stretch. But this time I've been here for a whole week because I came for a wedding. Obviously I've just been like, I've been socializing every single day for the last like 2 weeks. I was in Auckland last week. And then had like all my family and stuff is there, and then I came down here and I've just like seen so many people.
Yeah,
it's been amazing.
Are you staying with like a friend or something here? Yeah,
yes,
cool.
I'm staying with my choreographer actually, Darcy.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
That's
which has been
cool.
lovely. Like such a nice time.
Bit of bonding, bit of dancing.
Well, actually, he's been quite busy. We've hardly seen each other. So, yeah, that's all right though.
Classic. And then, like, you were in Auckland, but tell me about, like, what you've actually been up to lately, because you kind of been everywhere.
I've been everywhere. Yeah, I think it's, let's go back, I think, to the start of last year.
Yep.
For full context, because I went to LA for the first time in February last year to go for work, to test out the writing scene, to see what all the hype was about. And I had such a great time there that I kind of came away from it and I was like, oh, okay, I understand why everyone goes there and I need to go back immediately. So I booked another trip in May and then another one in September. So I think I spent like at least half of the year probably there last year. But after my first trip, I kind of was looking around at like just how talented everybody is in that city, because obviously it just draws the creative scene. Like all the writers are there, all the producers are there, like anyone you want to connect with is like pretty much there.
Yeah.
And so I sort of like decided after that first trip that I was going to take some time off releasing for the first time since I had started releasing music, it was hard. It was interesting, but I was like, I need to really work on my songwriting because my songwriting is like, it's suffering right now. And I needed to, find the team that I could connect with that actually is producing this sound of music that I like, which is like electronic dance, very like American sounding pop. And I've struggled to find that in New Zealand. We have a lot of DJs, we have a lot of like bands and stuff, but not really a lot of people doing like electronic music.
And smaller talent pool as well, right?
Of course, yes, yeah. And then all the really talented people leave and go somewhere else, unfortunately. So, yeah, I sort of struggled to find my team, and then when I started going there, I was like, okay, this is where I need to be. Like, if I'm going to be productive, like this is the city that I need to be in, which is a good thing to know. Because I've definitely tested it out in lots of different places. Like I tried Australia, I tried the UK, had some good sessions there, but yeah, LA was just like a whole other game. So yeah, I took last year off, which was really good, and ended up pretty much writing maybe about 80% of a full EP that I've started rolling out. I went on tour working for another band in November last year, and it was a bit of a shit show, to be honest. I was like tour managing my partner Luke, who is my manager, was doing audio for this band, and they went bankrupt like 3 days into a 4-week tour, and it was so wild. It was
It's not
winter.
funny. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. It's
funny.
fine. It's fine.
It's just
it was
hectic. 3 days in.
3 days in, like pulling up to the gas station, like the dudes' like credit cards were all maxed out. Like I remember pulling up to Manchester and we had no accommodation. It was snowing outside, and it was insane.
So do you guys had no idea?
Like it was unfolding as it was kind of happening, but we were also being told a lot of lies and a lot of like we'll reimburse you if you pay for this, blah blah blah. And like part of the job of being a tour manager is like you have to keep the tour alive. Definitely shouldn't have come to putting your own money into it, which is a problem. But yeah, it was a very hectic time, and we managed to sort of like crawl our way through it, but the morale was low. It was not a good time. And then my birthday was also in amongst this as well. So I was in Glasgow celebrating my birthday, and we actually we caught the artist cheating on his wife, and he fully turned on us, and we've never been paid from that. So we lost a lot of money, and we had to buy our flights back to New Zealand. Like it was a whole thing. And the money that we had put aside from working that tour was supposed to go towards my EP. It was supposed to go towards helping market the New Zealand shows that I had in April this year. So we get back to New Zealand a week before Christmas, not getting paid. Still to this day, haven't been paid. Like I think we would have to sue them in America
I'm so sorry. And because I can imagine, like, music and kind of any creative space, but especially music, I can imagine that like the standard kind of rules of business are a little bit different with up and coming musicians and payments, and I can totally imagine like people putting in their own money. Like I can so see that wouldn't, you know, I have a day job at Downer. I am not putting in my money to buy like, you know, stones for the road or anything, no chance. But I can see how easily that could happen in the creative space.
Well, it's like, what do you do? You know? Okay, so you got 4 people in the band, and then myself and Luke. What do you do? The job is to get the band to the shows, make sure that they get there, do the gig. Like, it's our responsibility to make it happen.
And
it's not our responsibility to pay for it.
No, but and to be fair, you probably would have almost looked at it of like, you know, say, yeah, might have to pay a few $100 here or there or whatever, but like it'll all wash up and it will be fine and we'll get back a lot more than what we ever put in.
Yeah, and it wasn't the first time that we'd worked with this like band as well. It was actually the 3rd time, and we didn't have these problems the first 2 times. So I didn't know, you know. And we sort of came out of that, and it was brutal. Like, it was a really brutal time. And then obviously coming into Christmas with no money was really fun. So it was an interesting time. So we crawled our way through that at the start of the year. I did manage to put out Run.
Yeah, which was insane.
Thank you. Yeah, that was supposed to be my comeback. Like, I'd taken a year off. I kind of hyped up all this stuff. I was talking to everyone about how I was coming back with this EP. The name of the tour was, you know, the title of the EP that still hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
And it's been like nearly a year.
Do you feel like Run though, like as much as your comeback wasn't what you envisioned, pretty fucking good comeback. Like
I disagree.
Yeah.
I'm not stoked with it.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. I didn't enjoy, in the end, like the producer that I worked with turned into a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
And it was a real struggle to like get the song out. And I had met this producer. I had a session with him earlier, like I think it was like in May last year. Had such a great session that I committed to the rest of the EP with him. I was like, this is going to be great. And then went back in September to finish it and to like keep working on it. And he just wasn't the guy. He was popping Adderall like in the sessions. Like it was just not a good time. He was just not a very nice person. And so I struggled like getting those songs out, and I wasn't excited about them, I think.
Yeah.
And even with Run, like putting it out, thinking about it in hindsight, it's like I knew that it wasn't right. And I feel like as well, a part of releasing an EP, you know, there's always like a couple of singles that you kind of pitch them to radio, and I've had a lot of radio support in New Zealand, and I sort of found myself writing for the commercial aspect rather than writing maybe what was true to me.
I hear you so loud and clear. But that's such a creative thing, eh?
It is.
Like that's you as someone that is a true artist or creative that like, don't get me wrong, I think we all want like a nice house with a pool and the whole shebang. But actually you love what you do, your craft, and that matters to you. And it's really funny, because I think in a lot of like work settings, they're like done is better than not, whereas like, I mean, I go through like 5 samples before I release anything because I'm like, ugh, not quite, and I actually want to be really proud of what I do.
Of course, and you need to be, and I think part of going to LA and like cutting my teeth as a songwriter, I was in sessions with new people almost every day, like new strangers that you're going into a room with and you're like sharing vulnerable like information and stories with to get these songs out. And I think I just got a little bit like lost with my direction, because I was writing like these styles and these styles and these styles, and I think I just got a little bit like confused. And so when I put Run out, I had in my head, this is going to be like a radio song. I feel like it's appropriate for radio. Yeah. I've had a lot of radio support in the past. I was really excited about it. Within the first week, maybe it was in the second week, it was my first #1 single.
Yeah.
Radio didn't pick it up at all. It didn't get picked up from a single station. And I was so confused, one, as to how that even happens, and disappointed, and just like I've kind of kicked myself a little bit, because I was like, oh well, I wrote it like for radio, thinking that
That's
because of this like support I've had in the past, I was like, surely it's a no-brainer, like I'm sure it'll get picked up by like one or two at least, and nothing. And I was really disappointed in myself. And I think a strange part of not having that money to finish the songs meant that because I think if I had the money, I just would have put them out, and I would have put out 5 songs down that vein that I would have like probably kicked myself for.
Yeah, that wasn't actually aligned to like your core values as an artist. Yeah.
So it was a strange time, and I'm kind of like weirdly glad that happened, because otherwise I would have spent a lot of money. I mean, I did anyway. I still paid the producer, and I've had all of the rest of the songs reproduced. So Cool, being the one that I've just released on Friday, 1 week ago today, is now the new comeback. And I just have like the most amount of songs I've ever had lined up ready to go after this. So I'm releasing a song in November. I've got a whole bunch coming out, and I've like never been in a better position than I am right now. So
incredible.
Which is amazing, yeah. So I feel really good about it, and in hindsight, even though it was a horrible experience, it really like helped me it kind of forced me to like take the time to sit on it and really think about like my direction, like who I wanted to be as an artist, like what did I like, what did I want to write about, like what was aligning with like PRINS, and like who am I, like what do I want to do. So that was good. And then we had an expo in LA in March. I took my band over for the first time, and we played an expo. We were supposed to go from LA to the Philippines to play a festival, which would have been the 3rd time that I've played there.
Where was it supposed to be? In the Philippines?
Festival? It was in Cebu.
Oh yeah, cool.
Was it in Cebu? Yes, it was in Cebu.
Nice.
Which I actually hadn't been to really before, very briefly. So it was supposed to be a very exciting thing. We were kind of going LA to the Philippines to New Zealand to start the tour. And Luke and I actually went to the airport in Auckland to fly out to LA. We were flying there like a week or two before the band. And we're sitting at the airport, and we went to check in. And you know, you can't fly into America without an outbound flight. Our outbound flight was paid for by the festival in the Philippines, and we get there and they turn to us and they're like, you don't have an outbound flight, like we can't let you on this flight to LA. And Luke and I were like, what do you mean? And we tried to call the promoter in the Philippines, and it was like 5 a.m. or something, so there was no getting hold of him. We just had to buy some like emergency flights out of America so that we could just board the plane. And then we couldn't get hold of the guy until we landed in LA, which was like 13 hours later.
And you're just on the plane the whole time,
wondering
what the hell is going on.
Yeah, what has happened? And then a whole bunch of information just starts like unfolding, and the festival turns out to be like a scam, which it was so insane coming across all of this information that was coming out. And because there were other bands like flying in internationally from kind of all around the world. We were all coming in and like trying to talk to each other and trying to figure out what was going on. And
wait, how did the information start coming in? Like it
came from us in Auckland, like finding out that our flight wasn't real. That was the first thing. And I think because it was a few weeks prior to the festival, there was like a little bit of time to try and like work some things out.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting there and we were going back and forth with the promoter, and he was communicating with us for a while initially, saying, oh, you know, this has happened, whatever. And so we're like trying to believe him, but also we're getting to the point, because also my dancers were flying from Christchurch. So we were all like supposed to meet there. They were paying for like flights, accommodation, and obviously like a fee. And it just started like unraveling, and then it got to the point where we had to make a decision, because our band and everyone had taken time off, and we needed to get our band home if the festival wasn't going to happen. And I think we left it to like about a week out, and so we had to obviously find a bunch of money to get everyone's flights home, including ourselves. And it was a big like festival fee for me as well. So between the November thing and this March festival, I think we lost like I think it was close to like 45 grand of like income in a couple of months. And that's why I haven't released any music this year, is because I've been recovering financially from like all of these, just like, it was just like a snowball effect. And because I'm living on the road, and Luke and I have been living on the road for 2.5 years now with no house, you know, you really rely on like figuring out where your pockets of income. And if you have a few of those that don't line up, it can be like very detrimental. So we got back to New Zealand. We managed to like fly everyone back and kind of sort it out. We did the Christchurch show. I couldn't market it at all. It's a miracle that it even happened, to be honest. Because we had no money to pay for like ads, no money to pay for any sort of like marketing. I was just like slamming TikTok and Instagram and just hoping that it was going to find the right people.
Like pretty much organic, which is actually pretty cool. Like I know in your shoes,
not ideal,
but cool, but like
it's amazing that we managed to like make it work. And I think we ended up having like 11, no, it was a bit more than that, maybe like 20 more people than we did the year before with no marketing. So we still actually had more people in the room somehow.
Growth,
for the show. So, and Christchurch was amazing, such a great show. Went up to Auckland, managed to like just get through the Auckland show. Fortunately, my parents were actually in Europe, so I was house sitting at their house, which was quite nice. We had like some space to just chill. But as soon as we finished that Auckland show, sent the band back to Christchurch and stuff, and Luke and I just had to shut the shop. We're like, we cannot spend a single cent on anything at all. We just have to stop.
I love that you speak so honestly about money as well, just perception versus reality.
Yes.
I think that the fact that you're like, because we've all been there. Like,
and it's a scary thing to talk about. It's a very like hush-hush thing for a lot of people to talk about.
100%, but like it's more relatable to more people than not. So
absolutely. And I feel like there's a lot of shame around like money and stuff, and people don't really know how to talk about it. And I think that's something that I definitely like to be candid about. Not about like my personal finances and stuff like that, but like the reality of like the music business in particular, and things that can happen, and like how much of a loss, you know, if something goes wrong, like how much it can affect you.
100%. Or
it's
like,
insane.
you know, maybe some of your songs are performing, but that doesn't necessarily quite translate.
Definitely does not translate in the way that we would like it to.
Yeah, people say that kind of thing to me all the time. They're like, oh, you seem to be selling stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you have to sell a lot, you know? And it would be the same for you. Like,
and it's your time as well, like, which you kind of just forget about when you're not, I guess, like self-employed, you know? Like, I never ever think about my time. I just put the time in, and I just work 24/7. It's like you're always working, but you're never working at the same time. In a way.
I get you. But it's funny. It doesn't, like, it does feel like work, but it doesn't feel like work. Like, I think that, I know that there's people, and I've done it in the past, in like an office job where you might have to stay till 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and you get it done, but you definitely don't love it. But I think that what's really funny about when you have your own thing is you can get lost in that time.
Yes.
Like where you're like, oh, actually, I should go to bed, you know, but you just find yourself like taking all of these little opportunities of pockets of time, because you often don't have much, where you just get it done.
Yeah.
And it might be 8 o'clock at night, and you're not like, these are my hours.
Mine is always like 2 a.m., 1 a.m. Like I'm a night gal though, to be fair. I'm not like a morning person. Like I'll get up at like 8:30. That's me. Which is not terrible, but I definitely prefer to like work at night for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, funny. But I love that as well. I think that also shows that you love what you do, and obviously you don't love all of it. We all have parts of what we do that we don't love, but you know, like perfect example was after that breast cancer show last night.
Yeah.
Like it takes me a couple of hours to kind of wind down after that.
Yes, well, it's such a buzz, right?
Such a buzz,
and you spend so much time and energy like building up to this one moment. It's like a show, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just over like that.
And
It happens
the
so quickly.
adrenaline and stuff. But there I was at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like making all of these like reels for the content and stuff, and I'm like, Zoey, like, and there was no pressure. No one actually said like, you need to do this by this time or anything like that.
You're just inspired, like you want to do it.
Inspired, it was creative, it felt cool.
And sometimes you need to like, I think you need to really like take hold of those moments of motivation, because like they're not always there. You know, you're never always motivated. And so when inspiration strikes, I'm like, who cares what the time is? Because
you know,
yeah, you got to use it. Otherwise, it just goes away. you know? So I was like, I think it's important, and I don't know, I don't really care about time.
Yeah.
Time is just, so I was just like, I'll do it anytime. And it always happens, like, especially with things like lyrics and stuff, I feel like it always happens at like 3 in the morning or like 4 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I need to pick up my phone.
Need to write that
I
down.
need to write it down. I'm like, why can I not think about this when I'm just awake?
Yeah, yeah, when I'm ready to go with like some paper and
Yeah. So that's kind of funny, but no, so yeah, I guess back to the story. It's been a hell of a year, and coming out of the shows was just it was rough. Like,
yeah,
it was horrible. I even think I had a panic attack on stage in Auckland actually, which is nothing that's ever happened to me before. I kind of like lost my voice a little bit, and like I was in a weird place, and I think it was just the stress of everything.
Yeah.
Of like just months and months and months of like getting to this point. And I knew that when the show was done, there was nothing on the books because we couldn't plan anything, we couldn't book anything. It was also coming into winter, which there's not really shows going on in winter. Like I know Luke was looking for some shows and stuff in Australia, and it was just like slowly dying out. Like there wasn't much going on, and we were both sitting there like, shit, like are we just gonna have to sit through the winter and like somehow I don't know what we were doing.
How are you gonna do it? So you went from Auckland to Australia.
We stayed in Auckland for a bit, and then for I think it was like 4 weeks, trying to like find something. And then the day that my parents came back was the day that he got some work in Australia, and I actually didn't see them. They arrived on the same day that I left. And I was like, sorry guys, but I gotta
Thanks
go.
for the house though.
Well, we'll come back and we'll talk about Europe when I come back.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to Australia. I actually found a house sit over there looking after someone's dog, which I've been doing a lot of recently.
Yeah, handy.
So handy. Trusted house sitters. Absolute game changer. So we were doing that in Sydney. Luke had a few jobs, and then there was a woman there, because the company he works for has a lot of offices like all around the world. They're a global company called Clear Global, and so their main office is obviously in America. And he had been talking to the lady who runs everything for maybe 3 or 4 years. They'd never met in person. Luke was sort of trying to find his way out of Australia, because he'd only done it in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
So he was sort of finding his way, like looking for opportunities. Yeah. And she happened to be in Sydney when we were there, and she's only there like 2 days a year. They met for the first time, which was, I think that changed everything.
Yeah.
They had a conversation about some upcoming work and things going on, and then a week went past, and Luke got this phone call. I remember it was 8 p.m. We were sitting at the dinner table. We just had dinner, still like barely surviving. He gets this phone call, and she's like, do you have your passport? Like, do you have everything with you? And we're like, well, yeah, we live on the road. We can leave, which is why we do it, so we can leave at any point. And they were like, we need you for the Chris Brown tour, which is tomorrow. And so we barely slept that night. I remember we went down like to the beach at like midnight and just went for a walk and like hashed it out, because I was like, I don't know when I'm going to see you next. This tour was like 4.5 months long. And so he literally got on a plane the next day, and I was just left he flew to Germany, straight into a show, like flew however, like 30 whatever hours, 3 layovers, landed that night, went straight into like a show day and worked. It was such a hustle. And I was left in Sydney. We'd actually just booked flights back to New Zealand as well, so that was a bit of a waste, but I ended up coming back here, and we were going to do like a little trip, just pick up some stuff that I've had stored here and just like drive it up to Auckland.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah.
And then I just ended up doing that trip on my own, so I came down here and drove myself up the entire length of the country just like on my own with all of our stuff in the car, and then I think I was in Auckland for 2 days, got to see my parents, got to talk about Europe, which was lovely.
Yeah.
See all the photos, and that was great. And then 2 days later, like, I flew out to Manchester and kind of joined him for some of the shows. I went to the Birmingham show, I went to the Paris show, which was like the last one of the Europe UK leg. And then there was a 2-week gap where we went to London, and he had to sit his like O2 visa for America, because he didn't have a visa, so he didn't know whether he could actually do the American leg. It was all a little bit like up in the air. It's very stressful.
I can
Stressful
imagine. I'm
times.
stressed. I feel like
It was interesting. So we were sitting in London, and like his work had paid for accommodation for like a week or whatever, and he went and sat, did his interview and whatever, and he was very nervous about it, very nerve-wracking, as you would be, because they can just turn you down and that's it. So we're sitting there, and it was supposed to take up to 10 days for them to make a decision. The next day, he got it, which is great,
yeah.
and then they flew him out that day. And I was left again with no accommodation. So luckily I've got lots of friends in London, but I think I found a house sit looking after this like gay couple's cat, which was such a vibe. And then I went to Paris and looked after someone's cat. I just went to Paris on my own for like 5 days and looked after someone's cat over there and had a great time. And then met him in Miami right before they started the tour. And we had a few days there, and then once they kind of like started the tour, I went to LA, and I've just been hustling and like writing songs and looking after people's dogs, and like it's been amazing.
I was gonna say, it's like that, you know how I asked that question of like, what would you tell your younger self? It's like one, or like, someone that wants to follow the path. Is it like, get into house sitting pets? Because like, it
depends
can
on what
save
you, it depends on what path you want, but definitely if you want to live on the road, like house sitting is a way to go. And I wish that I knew this sooner.
Yeah, save a lot of money on accommodation,
Gosh, so much money. Yeah, because like a lot of the time we've been quite lucky. When I'm on tour, accommodation is paid for. When Luke's on tour, accommodation's obviously paid for.
Yeah.
When we're in Australia, his work pays for accommodation. So we have kind of been making it work.
Yeah.
But then there's always gaps here and there, and particularly in LA, it's expensive.
Yeah.
So we might get like in the past, we would have got like an Airbnb for a couple of weeks or something like that to like fill the gaps. But that was just getting expensive.
Yeah.
And your money doesn't go a long way. So we were like not in some great places sometimes.
Yeah.
Just some like not great areas. Like, yeah.
Oh, look,
it's costly, but
yeah, I hear you. When we lived in the Philippines,
you lived in the Philippines?
Yeah, like
that.
for 2.5, nearly 3 years.
I did not realize that. Crazy.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
So Mindoro, and then Mindanao. So
Mindanao.
one was like a island that was like, and then one down south, totally different experiences.
Yes, I've been to Mindanao, played a show there actually. 2 shows there.
Yeah.
Wild place.
Wild. You would have had probably a pretty similar experience to me.
It was a fascinating place.
They thought I was like a pop star or something. I'm like, I'm absolutely not.
Because people don't really go down there.
No.
Like we took our band there in 2023. Like when we left, we played like 8 shows in the Philippines, and there was like a government advisory to like a level 3 like warning or something.
Yeah.
You don't like go down to Mindanao because of the pirates and because of the kidnappings and some shit going down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously we went, of course, and we booked some shows down there, and we played in what's the General Santos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we played a show, and we were the first international like act to ever play in this town, ever.
Yeah.
And it was maybe like half an hour out in this little town called Palomaloc, which is actually where the Dole factory is, the pineapple.
Yeah.
So we were out in the wops and
eating pineapples.
We were eating pineapples, it's delicious. And they were so lovely, but like I think a lot of people there had never seen like white people before, which was fascinating. And they didn't really like know how to be around us, and it was really sweet. Like I remember like finding a bunch of girls that were like practicing this little like dance routine somewhere, and Luke was like playing basketball with like the kids, and it was so sweet. And then we played a show there, and it was actually popped off.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a lot of people there. Like we had a great show. It was so dodgy in terms of equipment. I remember I was like getting electric shocked, which is not a good sign. Yeah. It was so wild.
No,
but
totally.
It was like one of the most fun experiences ever.
Well, because like the whole power and everything's different, right? Like, often they have to run on generators and stuff because the power is like so unreliable and stuff.
But the people are so lovely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So sweet.
And love like the arts and culture and like basketball and all of those sorts of things as well. Our experience was wild because, like, just to be clear, like, our experiences wouldn't have quite been the same, right? Because like you actually have fans. Like I was literally just a nobody.
Well, they didn't know who I was, to be fair. Like, I could have been anybody. You could have done it. Like anyone could have done it.
It was such a weird experience. Like I was like, when I go to Christchurch, nobody cares who I am. But like here, it's really, really relevant.
They love it.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. The people are so sweet. I even remember like the mayor of the town took us around.
Maru's going to be loving this yarn right now. Yeah.
Showed us around, took us to the plantation, took us to all of their friends' restaurants, cafes, you name it. They took us to some very interesting places, and they just want to like show you everything, which is super sweet. And then somebody was like, "Oh, I've got some people that like want to do your hair and makeup for the show," and I was like, okay, why not? And I got my hair and makeup done by this like lady boy who was just like vibing out. It was the funniest thing ever. And I just had like almost like wedding makeup. Like it was so beautiful. They did a good job, but I didn't get to choose what I wanted. It was just like, you get this one look that I'm like really good at, and that's what you get given. And like it was good. But such a funny time. But yeah, I loved it down there. It was great.
Yeah, funny, but lots of corruption and stuff as well. And we did experience the other side of that too. Like literally to the point where the first few weeks, I'd call my mum and kind of, say what was going on and stuff. And then
after living there, it's like a whole other thing.
But after a few weeks, I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Like, don't worry. Like, it's all good because I just don't want to stress her out. But, definitely some, like, interesting experiences, especially because, like, guns are everywhere as well.
Yes.
Like, not
it's just a struggle to survive, unfortunately. Like, they're in such a strange, like, part of the world where they get so many, like, cyclones and, like, I feel like they just have everything up against them in a way.
Yeah.
And so in some ways I can see why they try to, they have to make a living and people just have to do some outrageous shit, really.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but yeah, there is a lot of like scamming. There is a lot of like that in that culture, and it's frustrating. We certainly were getting tested daily with people that were trying to like rip us off and do things like that. So yeah, it's part of the experience.
It's character building.
It was character building. The band loved it.
I have a few questions.
Yes.
First, how's Chris Brown? Like, how was that experience for you?
Oh gosh, the Chris Brown experience. Well, I got a lot of hate actually when I posted about it because of he's been in some hot water. Don't know if it's recently, but
I hadn't even thought about
Yeah, I didn't think about it either because like I think the Rihanna thing was obviously a big one, but that was like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah. I think that they were okay.
I wouldn't know. I don't know. So I'm not going to get involved with that. But yeah, I had a lot of people message me and tell me how disappointed they were that I was involved. I know, you can't win, honestly. And it's silly because like I do get that and I do understand that, and a lot of people have been traumatized by experiences, and I know that Chris Brown's been in a little bit of hot water with, I don't know, some assault charges, and I don't actually know. But, the touring team alone, there's like, I hope I get this right, I think there's like 180 people. That's just touring. That's not local crew. That's not like, that's a big tour. Like, Luke hasn't even met Chris Brown. Like, you don't even like see the guy, really. You might walk past him or whatever, but you don't really actually have anything to do with him. And he's creating jobs for a lot of people. And obviously a lot of people love him. He's selling out 80,000 tickets every night over how many shows? Like, I don't know.
And as a musician, it must be kind of cool as well to like, because obviously he has the resources available to put on a really cool show. So actually being able to be like a part of that and see it firsthand, where you're not just going, you kind of have like the perception of both, Like you can
it's been a lot of learning. Like, because lucky enough, like obviously with Luke doing the job, I've been able to, get behind the scenes a little bit and like hang out with like the people in wardrobe and like go and see the costumes and how they set it up and the systems with something that is of that scale.
Yeah.
Watching the dancers like rehearse during the day, and I'm just like sitting miles away in like this giant stadium. I remember sitting in SoFi Stadium in LA. a few weeks ago, and yeah, just sitting there watching them rehearse, and you know, you're always like picking up little things about, oh, maybe you could do things like this,
Yeah.
and maybe, so it's really interesting to kind of see that firsthand and have that experience, and seeing multiple shows. It's kind of watching it evolve, and like watching the things that did work and didn't work, and
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
he's like adding and it's a long show too. It's like 2.5 hours long, which is,
Hard
and
to
he's
be on
dancing
for
the
that long.
entire
Yeah.
time. Like
Yeah.
he is a machine.
Yeah.
Like, say what you want about Chris Brown, but like he is a performer.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
so good at what he does. The show is he's fantastic.
That's so cool. And then another question.
Yes. Yes.
How does it go for you and Luke working together? Like,
Great.
yeah, because I
So
think
great.
that that's a cool story to kind of tell as well. I think
Yeah.
that like Mado and I have worked together quite a few times in a different shape and form, and people are like, ugh,
Yeah,
know?
I get that reaction. A lot of people are like, oh, I can never work with my partner. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Well, I think like Luke and I, before we were together, we were actually talking for like 2 years on the phone, which is so strange. And just about music stuff. He kind of like mentored me for like 2 years. And he was in like a 9-year relationship. I was in like a 3-year relationship. And then our relationship sort of like ended around the same time. And we were still talking, and he was sort of like helping me out with like a lot of setting up my library, because I hadn't done electronic music before at that point. I'd never done a PRINS show. He really like helped kind of set all that stuff up. And then in COVID, he launched his label that I am still signed with. And yeah, I think us talking for 2 years really like set a good foundation for our communication skills. And I think that's the game changer, is communication.
Yeah.
Luke is a fantastic communicator. I've never met anybody who communicates so clearly and effectively. He's unbelievable, and I've learned so much from him just
cool.
doing that. And so yeah, we had a lot of like time to work that out. And then when we started seeing each other, it was very like early days. He came down to visit me in Christchurch, and the next day we went into a 4-month lockdown, and he was stuck with me in Christchurch.
Oh,
and we were
didn't
just like
know.
very like
Yeah.
early stages of like dating.
Yeah, like I thought we were
And
gonna,
then
like, hang out for
he
a
had to live,
weekend.
so he had to live with me for like 4 months, and that really it was like,
Yeah,
you know,
fast tracked it. Yeah.
fast tracked a lot of things for us. And I think we just had to sort out, you know, whatever early relationship issues, and like, you know, you're learning each other, and yeah, just general things. It just fast tracked it so quickly, and I like that, because I'm like, I want to be productive. Like, let's get all the bullshit out of the way. Like, let's get it done. You want to move in? Okay, sweet, we're done.
Thrash it out. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
interesting, right? Because let's be honest, I think that COVID was really challenging for existing relationships too, right? Like there was a lot of
For everybody.
Yeah, a lot of relationships didn't actually survive.
Yeah.
That. So
Yeah.
interesting, because in some ways it's like you had quite a different experience to your relationship starting. But
It was
a
a
good
messy
test
start
at
too.
the start. Yeah,
It was messy. Like, you know, we had a lot of shit to hash out, and we were very different people as well. Like, very, very, very different people, and very different. Like, Luke at the time was not very like. He's like a bit of a workaholic. He loves to work. I was like the social butterfly. So we had like a lot of things to kind of hash out, and I'm really grateful for like being able to do that during COVID.
Yeah.
And in the few years of us like talking earlier. I think if it hadn't have been for those kind of two things, I don't know how well it would have gone.
Yeah.
But we work so well together.
I was
We don't
gonna
have any
say,
problems like
I almost think that like you sound like you have a lot of like mutual respect for each other,
Yes.
for what each other does as well.
Yeah.
Like, which I think is like what can really work. Like I think that was something that made Maru and I work as well, was it was like, oh, you're good at that,
yes.
I'm good at that, I can't do that, you can do that,
Yes.
but like cool, and like actually like being able to see them in a kind of work environment and understand their kind of trade, even if it's a little bit different from yours, it actually goes a long way.
We're like the perfect pair, because all the things that I can't do, he can do, and then it's vice versa.
Complementary
like,
skill sets.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, thank God, to be honest. Yeah, it's just worked out really well, and I think something as well that I love about Luke is like he does not let any resentment build up. If there is an issue, or if there is not even an issue, if there's just like
Something.
something that needs to be addressed, that dude will not leave it alone. Like, he will address it, and we will discuss it, and he makes sure that there is no resentment that builds up at any point, because I think it would just be...
Yeah, what's the killer?
Yeah, and it could happen so quickly, especially if we're just like living and breathing each other every day, which up until this Chris Rout tour, we've been together. Like, I would say we've been together every day for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, every day.
Yeah.
And just working really well together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really, really lucky. Like, he's like a godsend. And also, he was like the one person that really believed in me, like, from the start. And he still does, obviously. But he really believed in me. And he made that very, very clear. And he just went completely out of his way to like try and make it happen. And I just feel really grateful. I just feel really grateful, and I just love you so much.
The sweetest line that you said was that bit about him believing in you.
Yeah. He's my biggest fan. Like, sorry, Mum and Dad, but like,
yeah,
that he believes in me like nothing else. And we've had to work through like a lot of just my own issues about like my confidence with my songwriting and like things like that. I couldn't even sing in front of him like when we met. I had a lot of my own like issues, and he's really helped me like just work through a lot of stuff. Like, we both have. He's almost been like my little therapist, unintentionally.
Yeah, well, that's it, right? Like, I mean, when you're in a relationship, it's like a mirror.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's that same thing as well, that you give other people a lot of grace. So like learning to give yourself the same grace that you would give others.
Yes, and he's always been so good with that as well.
Yeah.
Like, he just has given me so much like space and time and, you know, like care to just nurture me through a lot of my own issues.
Yeah, well, we've all got them.
Yeah, of course. And like, you know, he had his own things to sort out, like we both did. It's life. But yeah, like I think I wasn't really addressing a lot of things before I met him, and he just really like not forced me, but like, you know, kind of encouraged it. Yeah, to like, no, like, we're gonna work through it, and we're gonna stick together, and we're gonna work through it, and that's it. It's as simple as that. I'm like, yeah, it actually can be that simple.
Well, that's it. Like, no one's relationship is perfect, right? But it's about that commitment of, like, we're all going to go through some shit. So kind of picking your person that's going to be your partner through that shit.
Yeah.
Or being like, look, there's a lot of people in the world, but I like you that bit more than anyone else. So we're going to
a lot more.
Yeah.
My favorite human in the world. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we at now? You've released Cool, which is awesome, by the way. I love that song.
Thank you.
Super cool.
So fun.
How's that going for you? Like,
it's been good. I mean, early stages. We're only in week 1. But the feedback has been amazing. I think everyone's just been like waiting for me to release music.
Yeah.
The amount of conversations I've had. And it's been so hard because, like, obviously when I released Run, I told everyone, like, the EP's coming out. It was supposed to come out a long time ago, and it hasn't. And I'm like a gal of my word. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And so being forced to like not put those songs out, I just felt so bad about it. I had this like guilt because I've been saying for so long, like, here it is, guys. Like, here's the comeback. I've got all this stuff going on. And then I couldn't deliver. And it's like for like maybe the first time ever that's happened like that. And I felt so it was a hard one.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is, so like I have this one collection that I actually designed back in the Philippines, right? And that was like my OG collection. Yeah. And that was before we even went live. I have not released that collection. And and it was supposed to be like the samples that I've been working on, like finally, like I've released other stuff in between time, but we had to do a bit of a pivot, and now we're going back to more of what the brand was designed to be. And yeah, I did exactly the same. I was like, guys, remember all of those like maxi dresses and beautiful things? Yeah. Like, I was like, I'm finally going to release them, and I'm going to do it at New Zealand Fashion Week. Like, it's going to be epic. Yeah. New Zealand Fashion Week, they're cutting their fees and stuff, so like designers can get in there a bit easier. Yep. So we'll be there, and then haven't been able to make it happen.
Yeah, right.
And it's
due to what reasons?
time,
Yeah.
really, you
Yeah.
know, like it's one of those funny things. You either have, well, for me, like, so either I have a full-time job as an HR and I have the money but no time, or vice versa.
Yes, gotcha.
So that's kind of where it's at now, where like you've got the regular income coming in and all of that sort of thing, but then I don't have the time to make it happen, to do the production costs, like, you know, to really manage, get the fabric, get the zips, get it all there, make sure it's going on time. Like there's so many moving parts. And so literally, you know, how you did the one song, like I'm literally probably just going to do one maxi dress for this season, just because I need to get something out. And that also, when we go back to what we really love, the other items are like cool, but they're maybe 80% there, and I could release them. I could. Like, there's really nothing wrong with them. But the maxi dress is the only piece that I'm like, it's perfect. Like, I'm really proud of that, and I would happily sell it and stuff. Whereas other pieces, I'm like, oh, yeah, well, you know, the waistband could be a little bit wider and stuff. Probably details that no one really cares about except for me. But
no, I think the difference is in the details.
Yeah.
I would, maybe if I could give like a piece of advice, I would say that.
Yeah.
To anybody, like, the difference is in the details.
Yeah.
And it matters. Like, it really matters, I think.
And the point of difference as well, like, that matters to me too. So, like, I'm not really interested in looking at what other people are doing or what's, like, on trend and being like, yeah, let's do that. Instead, I'm like, no, what's timeless and what's, you know, what really resonates. And maybe the target audience is going to be a little bit smaller, but cool, because maybe they'll fucking love it, you know, and cherish it. And
it needs to be, like, authentic to you.
Yeah.
It has to be. Otherwise, I don't feel like it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same with, like, designing, like, it's the same with music. I mean, they're both, like, creative outlets.
Yeah.
It's got to be authentic, because I feel like that, when you get it right and it's authentic, it clicks. And it's an intangible thing that I can't, like, put my finger on.
And it's the energy associated, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Because people can feel that. And, like, if you're coming out with a half-ass energy about something, or you're like, maybe you're like 90% of it, people can just tell.
Feel it.
They can feel it. I don't know.
So our light's on, which means that we must be coming towards the end. What are you up to?
How does it go so fast?
I know, it always does,
We have to do part 3. Okay.
So, what do you want people to know? Like,
Okay, so anyway, all this shit's happened. Who cares? We're back. We're actually back this time.
Baby.
And I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it. We are back. I'm rolling out my EP. So with Cool, the single I just put out, I also announced the EP again for the second time.
Yeah.
But it's actually happening. So I've got all the songs sort of lined up and ready to go. So right now, I'm just, like, focusing on releasing music, because I haven't put music out pretty much for like 2 years, apart from one song. I didn't get booked for a single festival this year, which is the first time that's ever happened in my career. And so coming into summer, I've been watching, like, all of these lineups come out, and I just knew it was going to happen, because they book in, like, June, July as well, and I didn't know what I could do. I couldn't turn around and say to someone, oh, I'm going to have this and this out, and I'm going to be doing this, because I couldn't do anything. I was barely alive. So I knew that it was going to happen, and I watched all these, like, festivals roll out, and I was like, this is a little heartbreaking. I did have a little cry, actually, about it a couple of weeks ago. And when I was in LA, I was just like, like watching, like, R&B, like, come out and, like, all these things. But I was like, no, it's fine. I need to just release music. That's what I want to do. That's what I need to, like, focus on, because it's been so long.
Yeah.
And stuff will come from it. And you know what? I put out Cool. Sachi asked me to jump on their set next week at Garden Party as their vocalist.
Cool.
And then Christmas in the Park has also asked me to sing Cool at Christmas in the Park. So I'm like, already things are, you know, I just need to focus on doing that.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. The things will come. And they are. So it feels really good to just be, like, back in it, and back, like, almost being relevant again. I felt very, like, irrelevant for a long time, which is a funny feeling. But yeah, so just so much music. I have the most amount of music I've ever had, and I'm just sitting on them, like, they're ready to go. And I'm going to be releasing, like, a lot. After the EP, I've got pretty much whole other, like, projects, like, ready to go. I'm buzzing. I'm, like, so excited about it. So Yeah, so no shows right now, but I'm going to start booking my next New Zealand tour soon.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
Awesome.
So yeah, there are shows coming up at some point.
Yeah,
but
the
music. We got to get the music out.
Get the
it's been
music
too long. The people
and then
need
the
the songs. Because you need the songs to play the shows.
I'm so proud. That's so awesome.
you.
Congratulations. I don't think that you will ever be irrelevant, but also not going to gaslight you because your feelings and emotion, like, you know, those are your things.
Yeah.
But I think you're an absolute icon, and it's been
Gal.
super cool, like, since actually meeting you in person and then following your journey. Like, I feel so invested in everything that you do. I'm like, because you're incredible at what you do.
You're a good hype girl. I really appreciate it. And I see you making little videos and putting my songs in them and stuff. It really means a lot. So thank you.
Well, because like it's not just your music. Like you are a good person. Like, and I just I just think that you deserve every piece of success that you get. And if I can like play any tiny little part in it, then I'm like there for it. Because I just think like the best is yet to come. But like you're just so clearly on the path.
Yeah, I mean. I think so. I hope so. It feels like it. Yeah, and the feeling is mutual. Like since we had our chat, which was when? When was our last one?
April-ish.
Was it April? Yeah, true.
Maybe.
Yeah. You know, again, like watching your journey and like watching all your little posts come up, like it's just so good. Like I love to see you thriving. So here for it. The girls got to band together.
The girls have got to band together.
We got to support each other. And yeah, you definitely do that for me, and the feeling is mutual. So I'm very grateful, and thank you for setting this up for a second time and like giving me a platform to like talk about my story, because it's always very short little interviews, and it's what did you write the song about? It's always like the same sort of things, which is great. But it's really nice to have like some long form content where we can really like hash it out and like talk about what's going on. Because you can't do it in a couple of questions. There's so much to talk about.
They can't get to know you either.
Hence part 2.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we could do part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And we will.
So many stories. And we will.
We'll continue it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you to our audience for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.